And joining us now from Vernon's is our favorite wine expert,
Thank you.
Samaye Tom. So nice to have you back. I missed you.
I know I wasn't here last Friday. I was on the couch.
Not sampling your profession.
He's on the couch
No, it was not a fun moment. So,
sorry.
So it's great to be back.
Well, we're glad you're back because today I want to talk a little bit about port, which I've told you is my favorite. I don't know. Have you ever had port?
I've never had port.
After dinner drink, my favorite after dinner drink.
It's the other white wine, isn't it? Pork.
Ah, good one.
Well done.
Thank you.
I like that. I like that.
Let's talk a little bit about the origins of port, because you know this better than anyone.
You know, when I was taking my SOM test, years ago,
right.
This was the most difficult part of it. It is so complicated.
Yes.
They are allowed since 1940 by the Portugal government to use 80 different styles of grapes.
That's a lot of grapes.
And I was really concerned about one of the questions they were going to ask me. It was like, okay, Tom, name 45 or 50 of the grapes that they make.
That's a lot of studying.
Crazy.
Yeah. And now they have gotten down to where they really only use 5 grapes, but they're allowed to use the other 75 grapes to do blending.
Wow.
And in the Douro Valley, which has got real steep sides to it,
yes.
They really didn't even know what grapes they were picking.
Oh my gosh.
Back when they started doing these in the 1600s. Interesting thing about port is they think it really is the only wine that was really discovered or made by mistake.
Really?
Back in the 1600s, when the British were fighting the French, they conquered the French. The British favorite wine was Bordeaux. And they destroyed all their Bordeaux.
Oh, wow.
So when they're sailing home, they come into the port or the Oporto of Portugal. They find this red wine.
Tense
Right?
port.
That's awesome.
They find this red wine, and they knew that it was not going to survive the shipping. So what they did is they added a touch of, at that time, it was known as vodka. To help stop the fermentation process, and they brought it home. So that's really where it was discovered by mistake.
Interesting.
Awesome story.
I like that story.
It's really neat.
Well, I want to go back to what are those 5 grapes that
Don't
are?
ask me.
He had to study 80. He had to study 80. I just wanted to get you on that one because we were talking.
I know they start with T's. Every single one of them start with T's, and I can't pronounce them anymore.
Well, I do know that the taste is amazing. And, we have different port types, and you and I have talked about this. I really think the viewers should be aware. I think it really does give you an air of prestige when you go out to eat and you can order the right port at the end of a meal. So give us some insight and expertise.
Well, one of the things that, we were talking about earlier, here's a white port.
My favorite.
And if you have never had a white port, I mentioned it a couple of segments ago, it really is the #1 consumed port in Portugal.
Right.
And they drink it with tonic all day long.
Really? With tonic?
All day long. And when it really comes down to it, there's only 2 styles of port. There's port that's aged in wood, and there's ports that is aged in glass.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
Now, what's the
But
difference?
then there is 11 subcategories. That's when you get into your rubies and your tawnies and your late bottle vintages and so on. And we have on there the tawny ports. The only port that's really aged in glass is vintage ports. Your 1960s, 63s in glass.
Okay.
How do they
put it right into the bottle?
Oh, in the bottle. Okay,
right
gotcha.
into the bottle on there. And it's only about 3 or 4% of it. That's why it's so expensive.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Everything else is aged in wood.
Got it.
There.
Okay.
So your rubies are aged in wood. Your tawnies that really start out as a ruby are aged in wood. And
I like the tawnies. And you said that tawny, unless that you can drink your tawny right away. You don't have to wait for
it is designed to be consumed right away. And your the 10-year, 20-year, 30-year, and 40-year tawnies. Your 10-year is actually designed to be served chilled.
Yes, I remember that tip. That was a good tip because I never thought to chill port before because you generally drink it as a warmer drink, but I liked it chilled.
And then also, port does come from other parts of the world. From America, Australia, South Africa, but those are called port styles.
Oh.
Now, you can only be called port if you come from, the Douro Valley, Portugal, and so on.
Oh.
Just like champagne,
you
can only be called champagne.
Right.
Otherwise it's a sparkling wine wherever it comes from the same.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And in America, the big port producer in America is Beringer. They have their own port caves and everything else.
So how much does the average person that comes in to a restaurant know about this? I mean, do they really know that much, or?
5-6%.
That's
really?
amazing.
Yeah.
That's not anymore.
That's why it's a benefit to have people like
it's
you.
It's really a hand sell.
Exactly.
It is up to the service staff to do a hand sell.
Right.
And then we walk you through, except when you come in, you knew exactly what you wanted. You like the 40-year tawny.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
$40 a shot. So, jeez. I mean, I have a port palate, but I only have a beer budget.
Right, well, hey, me too. Trust me, that's an expenditure. But what about with food? I wanted to ask you that because I usually would have it generally after a meal, but what's your opinion about drinking port with food?
Well, it depends what part of the world.
Okay.
As an example, Portugal usually has nuts.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Okay.
You go to British, they love Stilton cheese.
Oh,
but not the real.
That's bloody brilliant.
Yeah, but they like the white Stilton cheese, not the not the real stanky, so on and so forth. You go to Scotland, they like to drink it with hard cheeses.
Oh, okay.
And then what do you think we love in America?
Chocolate.
That big.
Wow, there you go.
That is it. And you are not going to believe this. Buttered popcorn, just like on the show.
Wow. Yesterday was National Popcorn Day. Did you hear that?
Hey.
I was thinking of you, and I was thinking, hello, Champagne. And of course, you just saw the location. If you want to head out to Vernon's tonight, not only can you listen to some great music, but you can check out Tom, and he'll give you the best advice on what port you want to drink. I recommend trying it. It's really fabulous.
Go for it.
Maybe we'll try it before we leave.
Okay.
And of course, here is what is on tap at Vernon's for the rest of the weekend. Saturday at 8:30, we've got jazz with some blues on Saturdays with the Memphis P-Tails.
Woo! Yes,
Jazzy. That's fun. And then on Sunday, there are two shows, as every Sunday goes. One at 5, the other at 7:30 with our friend Tommy Gerhardt and his band doing the